Hello everybody, this is Pranal here, also known as Lateriser 12, and welcome to my Game Week 6 team selection video. Now, this is the second video this week. We already did a monster pod yesterday with Pras and Zoff, where we discussed the pros and cons of wildcarding in Game Week 6, 7, 8 or 13. It was an in-depth discussion. If you haven't quite made your decision yet, I recommend you check it out. We discussed a free hit draft, we discussed a wildcard draft, we discussed whether we should triple captain or not. So check it out. Now on this video, I'm going to talk about my path. I've also made a free hit draft for you guys in case you have to free hit. I've also made a wildcard draft in case Haaland isn't fit. Right, so let's get into the swing of things. I don't want to take too much time. There's going to be 3 more videos this week. Tomorrow we have a wildcard special where Zoff is going to be talking to FPL Harry, who's on a wildcard. If you don't know who FPL Harry is, you're probably living under a rock. We've got Pras's team selection video. We've got Zoff's team selection video as well. So interesting week ahead. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and give us some love. Right, let's get into the swing of things. What happened last week? Very bad week. Cells didn't give me points. Munoz didn't give me points. He had 3 shots, didn't give me points. Poro didn't give me points. Rodon, so close to points, didn't give me any. Cunha and Wirtz, absolutely terrible. Salah, captaincy, assist, return. Semenyo and Reinders were the saving grace on Sunday. Watkins petted in too much. Dorgu on my bench with a 5-pointer. So, well, not much to write home about. But I do think, except for Bruno Fernandes, nobody's really, and Senesi, nobody's really returned. Everybody was around the 50 mark, so it's all right if I was bleeding points. I fell from 4.5 million to 5.3 million, and I'm not worried about ranks at this stage. Right, we discussed the pros and cons of whether we should wildcard or not. And for me, the big decision was whether I should wildcard in 6 or wildcard in 7 or 8. And we discussed the pros and cons on yesterday's pod, but I just want to take you through a couple of things that helped me make my decision. On Sunday night, I did Salah out and Watkins out to Haaland and Boomo. The reason I got Boomo is because in Game Week 7, I didn't go Bruno, I went Boomo, is because he enables any of the 3 transfers that you see. He enables Murillo to Gabriel, he enables Wirtz to Saka or Gordon, or he enables Joe Pedro to Gyökeres. And Arsenal plays West Ham in Game Week 7, and Newcastle United face Ange's Nottingham Forest as well. So some fancy picks if I just want like a 1-week punt before I inevitably wildcard in Game Week 8. Why do I want to wildcard either now or in Game Week 8 is, if you can see, I don't have the DEFCON defenders. The only DEFCON defender I have is Rodon. I want guys like Senesi, Anderson, Richards. I want an Arsenal defender in place. I just don't have these DEFCON defenders. And outside of that, I haven't wildcarded. Why? Because I've got Dorgu, I've got Poro, I've got Munoz, I've got Murillo, I've got Cells. Now, if you look at the clean sheet odds for Game Week 6, I've got Poro, who's only behind Man City for clean sheet odds. I've got Cells and Murillo. Murillo might not yet play, who's got 40% clean sheet odds. And the guys that I want on wildcard are Anderson, who's got 21% clean sheet odds against Aston Villa away. I want Senesi, who's got 26% clean sheet odds against Leeds United away. I want Gabriel, who's going to St. James's Park, who's got 30% clean sheet odds against Newcastle United away. And in attack, I got in Boomo, right? On Sunday. So now I've got double United attack, double City attack. Man City and United are in the top 3, 2 of the top 3 teams for expected goals in the next 2 weeks. And I'm probably going to get an Arsenal attacker next week, which has the highest expected goals in Game Week 7. So I've got everything covered for these 2 weeks, which will help me make decisions in terms of which big hitters to go, in terms of whether I want to go with or without Mo Salah, in terms of, I think we already have that information from Arnie Slot that Isak might be reintegrated and his preseason is probably the international break where it will be complete and he'll be reintegrated fully post the international break. So whether we want to go Isak and Salah or just one of them, is Palmer going to be fit? Is Haaland going to be undroppable still? And take a call on a Game Week 8 wildcard. If you're going for a Game Week 6 wildcard, I still don't mind it because the big decisions that are pending are the big hitter decisions. You're still going to want your Senesis, Andersons, Richards, which are DEFCON defenders. You're still going to want an Arsenal defender maybe. You're still going to want either Gyökeres or Saka given Arsenal's fixtures. You're still going to want Semenyo. There's a lot of steady Eddie guys at the moment. But information could change in 2 weeks. At the moment, I'm happy with my attackers for the next 2 weeks. I'm happy with my defenders. I am one injury away from maybe pushing the wildcard button. I'm hoping Haaland isn't injured. I don't think he's going to be. Wirtz didn't play in the Carabao Cup. He didn't even feature in the squad, which was best case scenario for me. That probably saves my wildcard because I can just play these guys and look to wildcard in either Game Week 7 or 8. Probably Game Week 8. That's what my path is looking like at the moment. This is what my team is going to look like after I did the Watkins and Salah out to Boomer and Haaland transfers. And if I can help it, we'll talk about the triple captaincy a little later in the video. So this should help you make your decisions. Just quickly going through the pros and cons of wildcarding in Game Week 6, 7, and 8. Actually, we discussed this at length on the podcast yesterday for the first 45 minutes. So I recommend you check it out. All right, so that's my part. That's my team. Even if Murillo is injured, right, I can play Rodon at home to Bournemouth. I just play Munoz because Liverpool, Palace at home are a robust, tight defense, and it's good insurance against somebody like Woods. And Munoz is capable of points returns on both sides of the pitch. He could just get Defcon as well. So I'll probably just play Munoz in case Murillo is injured. Because Ange mentioned that he did train but was still a little uncomfortable, so he's not going to feature in Europe. That both good news and bad news because I'm hoping then he can play at the weekend. At least Ange is honest about whether he's going to feature at the weekend or not, so we'll find out. Just a quick shout out on our Discord, which has been buzzing. Both Zoff and I have been busy on the RMT section today on our Discord. It's a good time to join the Discord. It's a self-help community. It's a great community outside of FPL. So have the conversation with us or just support the podcast. Scan the QR code or link on the description below and join our Discord. You can join through patreon.com/the FPL Wire. Now, just to help you guys out with some puns, what would I do if I was free hitting? It's very unlikely that I free hit. Even if Haaland's injured, I don't think I'm going to free hit. If Haaland's injured, I'm just going to use the wildcard. And I've spoken about my wildcard draft in the video later in case Haaland's injured. But if I was free hitting, 2.76 expected goals for City. City have beaten Burnley 4-0 final many occasions. I think they're good at unlocking deep blocks like Burnley who sit tight. I would triple up on City attack. At least double up on City attack. So I would go Haaland, Reinders, and Foden. If at all you want to go one defender, get in Donnarumma or Guardiola, but I would triple up on the attack. I would also get a Spurs attacker because the Wolves have been leaky in defense, conceding big chances. So somebody like Xavi Simons is a punt I would make. Isak could be a fun punt on a wild card. When it comes to clean sheets, I would just back Everton because West Ham are terrible at defending set pieces. I would maybe double up on Taco and Keane. Keane is the one who's actually more involved when it comes to set pieces as well. So I would maybe go there. I would put in Cells because he's capable of saves as well. Maybe a defender like Porro or a Romero. Romero is who I'd go with, who's capable of a goal, who's good for bonus points, etc. as well. My free hit draft would look something like double Everton defense with Keane and Tarkowski. I would go Senesi because he's a unicorn of defenders. Good for bonus, good for attacking threat, good defense. Vicario maybe as my keeper. If I wasn't going Vic, I would go Donnarumma. Grealish, because I just think I want to punt. No, Grealish wouldn't be my captain. My captain would be Haaland. Sorry about that. I didn't change that. Haaland would be my captain on free hit. Semenyo, Reinders, Foden, Xavi, Simons as a punt, Pedro and Haaland. Maybe I want to punt on a Forest attacker if I can find somebody I like because they're playing Sunderland at home. That Sunderland defense is supposed to be good. Grealish, Endai or Dewsbury Hall, choose which way you want to go. I just feel like Grealish is so involved in that Everton attack. So you take a chance there. Endai obviously has the rods to points, penalties, and DEFCON as well. But I would still go Grealish on a free hit. Semenyo, I wouldn't compromise on. That's it, man. I wouldn't touch an Liverpool attacker outside of Isak maybe on a free hit. Romero would maybe find his way if you don't want to double up on West Ham on the Everton defense. That's what my free hit draft would look like if I was free hitting. A big shout out to Club. It's a game that I've been enjoying playing. What happens in this game? Firstly, it's completely free to play. I've been playing for 5-6 weeks now, and basically you have an agent, sometimes with a picture of Ross or Harry, and the agent's called Manny, who gives you players, and then whether you can accept them, reject them, you're basically running a club, and then with the squad you build and the funds you're managing, you play FPL with club's own sets of points, which are slightly deeper than basic FPL points, against another team, and you get points for a win or a draw or a loss. So it's fun because it's like Fantasy Manager combined with FPL, and I'm really enjoying the game. It's free to play. It's very chill. So scan the QR code or click in the link in the description below and get playing, man. It's just a lot of fun, and it's so exciting when you see Ross or Harry on the club app as well. I like that bit of integration. Now, what would I be doing if I was wildcarding? This is interesting, right? I would maybe have 2 or 3 Arsenal picks because outside of Game Week 6, they've got good fixtures for a while. They're good placeholders for future picks. Like York is a good placeholder for Isak. Saka is a good placeholder for Salah or Palmer. I would maybe have a Spurs defender in there. I'm not sure about Everton defense because after West Ham, Everton's fixtures are a little tough. So I don't feel confident about Everton. I wouldn't have Taco on my wildcard. I think he's a little bit of a. That said, he's a DEFCON defender, right? But that's it. I would just maybe go with an Everton midfielder, maybe skip the defender on my wildcard. I would look to either, if you're not bench boosted, I would look to either bench boost in Game Week 8 or 9. I like the bench boost 8 more than bench boost 9 because I like getting a few Crystal Palace players in my team. The problem with Crystal Palace players is in Game Week 9, where is CPL? They play Arsenal away, which is not the best. In Game Week 8, they play Bournemouth at home. You take a shot there. And what would my wildcard draft look like? Now, I would only wildcard if Haaland's injured because I showed you guys my path. If I was wildcarding, if Haaland is not there, this is just a backup plan. I would go with Dubravka and Petrovic, but honestly, I want to see if I can find 0.5 million to get Pope into my team. Because I genuinely think Newcastle are a really good defense. Pope is the only one I have confidence of playing all the games because Eddie Howe is rotating in Europe and Premier League as well. Right? Look at the fixtures. Where's Newcastle? Arsenal, then Forest, Brighton, Fulham, West Ham, Brentford, City, Everton. Just a good defense. So I would see if I could find money for Newcastle United. And if you're looking at bench boost 8 or 9, they've got Brighton and Fulham, right? So good fixtures as well. Gabriel, because I want to have one Arsenal defender in there. Rodon, Senesi, Richards, DEFCON defenders, Mukele, DEFCON defender. Maybe I want to spend a little bit more in defense, but Gabriel and Senesi are sort of perma plays. And then Richards is a robust defender. And then you've got 2 backup options in decent promoted team defenders. Maybe I upgrade one of them to Anderson. In midfield, it is a stacked midfield. Look at that, man. Semenyo, Bumo, Saka, Reinders, Salah, Pedro, Gyökeres. And my 8th attacker is Calvert-Lewin, who's going to be useful on a bench boost in either Game Week 8 or Game Week 9. That's what I would wildcard with if I wasn't if Haaland turns out to be injured, my backup plan, because I've sold Salah already, right? So my backup plan is to wildcard into a Salah team. But my team is very far away from all these DEFCON defenders, right? So I don't mind wildcarding if Haaland is injured, which is a 1% probability scenario. But man, that midfield looks stacked. I really like it. If Haaland was fit, I would definitely wildcard with Haaland. This is just a wildcard draft. If Haaland isn't fit, we did a wildcard draft with Haaland on the pod yesterday, so check that out. It would mean a sacrifice on Salah and go Haaland instead. Essentially just that. And see if you can get Pope or a Newcastle defender into your team. Now, am I triple captaining or not? That's an important question too, right? And the answer is, if Haaland's fit, if this scaremongering is just scaremongering and nothing else, which I think is the fact, I want to triple captain Haaland because he's probably going to get a midweek rest. He's the highest expected data. He's got the highest expected data out of all the attackers in the game at the moment. Double or triple second. He's got the highest points per game. He's on an insane run of form. Shirky and Marmoush are injured, which is why his expected minutes look good. He could get injured after a couple of weeks, which is why you might not get to triple captain Haaland in the future. I like City's capacity and capability against deep blocks like Burnley. And there's not much else to think, right? You're getting to triple captain Haaland. Outcome is outcome, but the chances he's getting are all big chances. He's getting majority of the XG at the moment. I like how they're playing. So the college potential is really, really high, and I don't want to overthink it. He's in a good space, and I like it when attackers. I like it when forwards are scoring goals. Because there's something to be said about confidence and putting the ball at the back of the net when they're in a good run of form, which is what Haaland is in the moment. If you remember, he got a lot of high expected data last year as well, but he was in a bad run of form, so he was second guessing his finishing, which is why he missed a lot of his chances. He's in a very good frame of mind right now, and this could change. which is why if I can help it, I want to triple captain Haaland. Yes, Salah, Isak, Palmer, Saka, Haaland will give us future opportunities, but I don't want to overthink this. I think this is a good opportunity. Europe could come into the picture later. There's going to be no Europe distraction right now. I like his minutes. I like Burnley home. It's home. If the opportunity presents itself, I'll be going for the Haaland triple captaincy. As always, a big thank you to Fantasy Football Scout as well for always supporting us. All the data that you see on this podcast, even this little chart, look at the shots he's getting, man. Insane big chances. Is from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit like and subscribe. Good luck this week. Keep your notifications on. Lots more videos to come this week. Take care and see you later.